And look, before I get to this story, I'm going to put the link to my Patreon in the description. So whoever wants to become a member, hit that link and become a member. But let's get right into this video. And look, I make these type of videos because these stories get swept under the rug. And I love pulling that rug and throwing that shit out the window. Because you got to think about the families that's forever traumatized. If you ever had a mother, a sister, a daughter, a sister-in-law, a friend, a girlfriend, a fiance, if they was, if they got unalived while giving labor, even after labor, you never get over that. You forever traumatized. So I feel like if those families have to be traumatized forever, these doctors, these nurses that worked on those mothers that died, they need to be traumatized too. They need to see their names. They need to see their faces on YouTube videos all the time, every year, every month. They shouldn't be able to live in peace because these families can't live in peace. Because you got to think about it. These people going to the hospital and you unexpectedly lose your wife. You unexpectedly lose your friend. You unexpectedly lose your daughter. You unexpectedly lose your mother. Bro, that will cause anybody to crash out. That will cause anybody, that will just ruin your life. These doctors, these nurses, these insurance companies, these hospitals, they get away with murder. But like I always say, let you unalive somebody. Let you harm somebody. They coming in and lock you up. You ain't moving on. You ain't going to another job. You not waking up and living a peaceful life. They looking for you, especially if you black. So to my people that live in New Orleans, to my people that live in Louisiana, matter of fact, across the whole country, share this video. Share this video with your family, with your friends, with your loved ones, because we have to start communicating. We can't trust these people. So let's get right into this article. This article is by the USA Today. It was published March 7th, 2019 at 10:34 a.m. Hospitals blame moms when childbirth goes wrong. Secret data suggests it's not that simple. So Touro Infirmary said it was the mother's fault that they died in labor, not the doctors. It was their fault. But check this. This is not even the crazy part. As we get along in this article, it gets even crazier. New Orleans, as she lay in her hospital bed a week after giving birth, Felicia West's body started sending out warning signals. Her blood pressure spiked. She complained of a splitting headache for 3 hours as she headed toward a stroke. Medical records show no one at Touro Infirmary called a doctor to respond to danger signs for any new mother. They gave her pain meds and an ice pack, and they made her wait. Then after a series of handoffs, a doctor in training finally was tapped to deal with West's blood pressure. The doctor was in no hurry. Okay, well, it will be a while before I can see her because I have a lot of people before her. She responded at 6:45 p.m. The hospital's nursing notes show before dawn, West was dead. So imagine being in a hospital after giving birth and you complain about splitting headaches and the doctors, the nurses give you pain meds and they give you an ice pack. And not just that, while you slowly dying, while you slowly fading out, they watching you die. And we can see their faces. They probably smirking, smiling because they think people don't care about you. But this is why I make these videos. I don't have to make videos about celebrities. I'm going to talk about the everyday black person because they do have people that care about them. I don't care how long it takes. And then when her family tried to sue Touro Infirmary, the hospital said that it wasn't our doctors and nurses' fault that she died. And see, I'm starting to think that the KKK is not only in the criminal justice system, but it's also in the medical field too. Child care safety advocates called the hospital's response troubling, particularly because a majority of women who delivered at Touro are black. Nationally, black mothers are dying from childbirth at 3 to 4 times the rate of white mothers. They suffer severe complications twice as often. So I had to sit back and think, what are these nurses learning in nursing school? You telling me that, matter of fact, let's read it for ourselves. 37% of all births in Louisiana in 2020 were among non-Hispanic black women, but non-Hispanic black women accounted for 62% of all pregnancy-associated deaths. So as the years go on, they telling us America is progressing. All the new technology, all the new stuff in the healthcare field. But how it's progressing and you having the least populated people are the most to die? That don't make sense. But check this out. I asked Google, what country has the highest mortality rate for giving birth? the United States, Chile, and New Zealand. So you telling me big bad United States is the worst country to have a baby in? Because what these hospitals do to our black women, to our black families. And that's why I say on a lot of my videos, we have to start communicating. We have to start making videos like this. We have to start telling each other what these doctors doing. Like I say, when I was younger, I didn't care about this shit. I didn't know this shit was going on. But as you get older, you start seeing the play. And if you're a real human or you have any kind of empathy for our people, you go talk about it. You go have to put it on Front Street. Out of 7 hospitals in New Orleans that deliver babies, Touro's patients suffered the worst, mainly black women. And then in court, you had one of the doctors saying, oh, she was unhealthy. What? That's a lie. How many videos I have done about women being unalived by doctors in the hospital, and all of them was healthy. All of them was healthy. They never had no seizures, never had no headaches, never even had morning sickness. And they still, some way, they died in the hospital. West's pregnancy had been healthy, said her sister and roommate, Renata McClendon. Not even morning sickness, no history of high blood pressure. Shortly after arriving at Touro in October 2012, West had a seizure, her first ever, McClendon said, and went into respiratory arrest. When doctors became concerned West's placenta had detached, they delivered her baby by emergency C-section. The baby boy would eventually be fine, but West would not. But ain't it crazy nothing is ever done about this? You telling me that black women has the highest chance to give birth and then die after labor or die while in labor, and nothing is ever done about this. No one makes videos about this. Even when I looked up this information, I found one video about this. No one talked about it. So that's why I say I don't care how long it's been. They wrote an article, 7 years after it happened? This was an article 7 years after it happened. And I have to come 6 years after this article was written and still talk about it, because you know why? Now they hiding the information. Now they not telling you that black women are being unalive. They not even putting that information out. They hide that information from the people. But look, this is when things get dark. A misdiagnosis and improper treatment course that later would be the only care failure cited by a state medical review panel. The panel otherwise concluded that there was nothing to indicate the hospital and other staff deviated from the standard of care. See, look, these people didn't expect us to find this article. They don't expect us to read through these articles, because we have to. We have to warn the next generation that's coming, that's about to have babies. You have to share this with, the people that's in your family that's younger, that's about to have babies. You can't have people going to the hospital, your family going to the hospital by themselves and having babies after we learn this information, because they can hide anything. They can say, oh, it wasn't our fault. It was the mother's fault because she was unhealthy. She wasn't unhealthy. Y'all just have no knowledge. Y'all just love murdering our people. That's it. For 3 hours, nurses recorded those blood pressure spikes in West's chart. Then, according to medical records obtained by plaintiffs' attorneys as part of the family's lawsuit, over the course of nearly another hour, a nurse began calling and paging one doctor after another to find someone to help. Some were off duty, others on call for them. The nurse ran through 5 doctors before she found someone who would address West's blood pressure. A doctor learning internal medicine skills through one of Touro's training programs. Even when told the latest reading was 175/94, the resident acted as if West's blood pressure wasn't an emergency. And see, this was murder. And I know they sued them. I don't know if they won the lawsuit or not, but this was murder in cold blood. And imagine where these doctors went off to work. Imagine a lot of these doctors probably wasn't even fired. That's why I say in 2025, we have to expose these doctors. The same way when we get in trouble, they expose us. They put us on Facebook. They put us on Instagram. That they make YouTube videos about us. We have to keep that same energy when it comes to them. We have to put them on Front Street, because this is the part that really broke my heart. I kept saying, hello, hello, her sister McClendon said. West didn't say a word. The nurse took the phone. What's wrong with her? McClendon asked. She recalls the nurse saying, she's being kind of stubborn. She doesn't want to talk on the phone. McClendon knew better. She hopped in her car. By the time she arrived at the hospital, her 21-year-old sister seemed in a daze. It was almost like she was having an out-of-body experience, McClendon said. She would look at us, turn away, look at us, turn away. McClendon rushed to the nursing station. Something's wrong with her. Something's wrong with her. That was the last time McClendon would see her sister alive. And look, this is the cold part. Felicia turned 21 while she was in the hospital. And I talk about these stories, but just think about the stories we haven't heard. The stories that were just swept under the rug, no videos, no articles, no nothing about them. That's why I say a lot of these hospitals, a lot of these doctors, they think these people don't have nobody that care for them. But now they wrong. Now they have a YouTube channel. I care about it. If someone sends me an article and someone was unalived in your hospital, wrongfully, I'm going to report it. I'm going to speak on it. And you better not have no face pictures of these doctors and nurses because I'm going to put it on Front Street. And then her big sister said, I feel like as the big sister, I let my sister down. You know how that feel? You know how that feel to let a sibling down and you can never apologize to them? You can never see them again? And look, on my channel, I have a lot of elders on my channel. It's up to y'all now. It's up to y'all now to pass the information down. It's up to y'all to help y'all, the younger family find doulas to help them, with their burdens. It's up to y'all to pass down that information. You should be holding all that information in. You have experience in life. Pass that experience and pass that information down to your family members. Pass it down to your loved ones. Pass it down to your friends. In 2025, no woman should be going to the doctor in labor by herself. She should have someone with her. Someone in her family should be telling her, look, here's a doula. So if you know any doulas in New Orleans, Louisiana, all across the country, you should be sharing this information. We have to share information. We cannot depend on these hospitals like we used to because they secretly murdering our women. They really doing that in our faces and they moving on with life like it never happened. So in my description, I'm going to put my Patreon in my description. So anybody want to become a member, it's going to be in my description. But I'm also going to put 2 articles because the article about Felicia, I'm going to put that article too. And it's another article of the other black women that was either unalived or their lives were forever changed. When I mean forever changed, they had to, after having a baby, they had to get an arm cut off. They had to get a leg cut off. They lost a lung, all type of stuff dealing with Touro Infirmary. So I want to say rest in peace to Felicia West. And I know this happened back in 2012, but they just wrote this article in 2019. It took them years to write this article. And now I'm making the video because you won't find no videos that's talking like this about this because it's still happening. Now they just really sweeping it under the rug. So anytime you hear about someone, a black woman being unalived while giving labor, talk about that. Give that information out so we can put that information out because these hospitals not for us, bro. And I hope someone in her family sees this video because, like I say, the world can move on, but these families will never move on. You don't see the tears that these people cry at night. You don't see the times they can't eat because they thinking about their daughter. They thinking about their sister. They thinking about their mom. A lot of people don't see that. So I feel like if the family have to go through that, these doctors and nurses have to go through that. So don't let me find these doctors and these nurses who worked on Felicia West, who was handling her labor. Don't let me find them because I'm going to post them. I'm out.